Today we're embarking on a fascinating journey to uncover the mysteries and marvels of building a log cabin. Whether it's a quaint hideaway in the woods or a luxurious retreat by the lake, the allure of log cabin living has captured many hearts. But one question often stands in the way of making this dream a reality. How much does it cost to build a log cabin? Stick around as we lay down the blueprint to your dream log cabin, making it closer to reality than ever before. Let's get started. Firstly, the cost can vary depending on factors like the size of the cabin, the materials used, and where you want to build it. Larger cabins with more luxurious features will generally cost more, while smaller, simpler cabins may be more affordable. Additionally, the location of your cabin can impact the cost, as building in remote or hard-to-access areas might require more resources and labor. Overall, while building a log cabin can be a significant investment, it can also be a rewarding and affordable way to create your own piece of paradise in the great outdoors. Constructing a log cabin typically ranges from $100 to $300 for every square foot, considering both the expenses for materials and the payment for labor. When you're thinking about putting up a modest-sized log cabin, the average expense usually falls between $50,000 and $150,000. Constructing a cozy little cabin typically ranges from $20,000 to $200,000. But that doesn't cover the price of the land it sits on. To keep expenses in check, one can opt for basic finishes and give old items like farm sinks and bathtubs a new purpose, giving the cabin a charming, rustic vibe. On the other hand, putting up a tiny house on a solid foundation usually falls within the $33,000 to $78,000 range, excluding the cost of the land. If you want to build a small cabin, it depends on its size. Here's an estimate of how much it might cost. For a cabin that's about 150 square feet, it could cost anywhere from $15,000 to $45,000. If you're looking at a slightly bigger cabin, around 200 square feet, the cost might be between $20,000 and $60,000. A 300 square foot cabin could range from $30,000 to $90,000. A 400 square foot cabin might cost between $40,000 and $120,000. For a cabin around 500 square feet, you're looking at spending between $50,000 and $150,000. A 600 square foot cabin could cost between $60,000 and $180,000. And finally, for a cabin that's around 700 square feet, the cost might range from $70,000 to $210,000. The cost of log cabins can change based on how they're designed and finished. There are different types, like kits you assemble yourself or prefab cabins that are already partly built. These options are usually less expensive than log homes that are custom built from scratch. If you're willing to do some of the work on your own, like building or finishing parts of the cabin, you can save even more money. So log cabins come in different types. The first type is the log cabin kit, which usually ranges from $125 to $275 per square foot. With this option, you get all the materials and plans needed, delivered to your site, and you can either build it yourself or hire a contractor. The second type is prefab or modular log homes, costing between $100 and $250 per square foot. These are built off-site by professionals and then transported to your location, where they're assembled. The third type is custom stick-built cabins, which typically range from $150 to $400 per square foot. These cabins are constructed on a foundation using either stock plans or custom-designed blueprints. Finally, there's the A-frame cabin, which costs between $100 and $300 per square foot. These can be built on site with materials or using a prefab cabin kit. Log cabin kits, which contain all the materials needed to build a log cabin, along with blueprints, usually range from $50 to $100 per square foot. With these kits, someone who's good at do-it-yourself projects can typically construct the cabin themselves, although they might need some assistance from professionals like electricians or plumbers. On the other hand, prefab or modular log homes, which are built in factories and then transported to the site for assembly, typically cost between $100 to $250 per square foot when fully installed. These prefab cabins are quicker to build because they're made with greater efficiency and are not affected by weather delays like traditional construction. Once the modules are finished, they can be assembled on site in just a few days, making the overall construction process faster compared to traditional log cabins. Here are ways to economize when building a custom log home. Opt for a smaller home. Building a smaller home can significantly reduce costs as it requires fewer materials and labor. Select a simple design. Choosing a simpler design for your log home can cut down on construction expenses, as intricate designs often entail more labor and materials. Utilize machine-cut logs. Using machine-cut logs sourced from a local distributor can be more cost-effective than handcrafted logs, without compromising quality. Do some work yourself. To save on labor costs, consider taking on certain tasks yourself rather than hiring contractors for every aspect of the construction. Reuse old materials. Repurposing old materials wherever feasible can help save money and reduce waste. This might involve salvaging wood, fixtures, or other items from previous construction projects or renovations. By incorporating these materials into your log home, you can add character while cutting down on expenses. The price to build an A-frame log cabin can range from $100 to $300 for each square foot when it's all set up. These cabins have a distinctive A-shaped design and are quite trendy in places like ski resorts. Their slanted roofs extend right down to the ground, which helps prevent snow and ice from accumulating on top. When it comes to figuring out the cost of constructing a log cabin, there are a few things to consider. Factors like where the property is located and its elevation play a big role. Properties in more remote or mountainous areas tend to have higher costs for developing the land. Additionally, the materials needed for building, like timber logs and hardware, can take up a significant portion of the budget, usually accounting for almost half of the total expenses. Further, there's the planning and permits, which make up less than 2% of the total cost. This includes things like drafting fees, blueprints, and getting approval from local government authorities. Then about 5% of the cost goes towards site preparation and foundation work. This involves tasks such as clearing the land, leveling it, and laying the foundation for the cabin. The largest chunk, around 40%, is for purchasing the logs and other materials needed for construction. Log kits typically include the logs themselves, as well as siding and necessary hardware. Some packages, known as dry-in shell packages, also include roofing materials, subflooring, windows, and doors. Next, around 20% of the cost is for labor to assemble the cabin. This includes framing the structure and putting on the roof, whether it's a DIY project or hiring professionals. Finally, the remaining 35% of the budget is allocated to utilities and finishing touches. This part can vary greatly depending on what's included in the package and the level of finish desired. It might cover things like installing utilities, cabinetry, countertops, appliances, lighting, flooring, and fixtures. All these components together make up the total cost of building a log cabin, with each part playing a crucial role in the final results and overall expenses. Also remember, the cost of logs for building a log home depends on the style, wood type, and log sizes used. There are three main styles of log homes. 1. Full scribe. This style, also known as stacked homes, is traditional and expensive. Horizontal logs with notches are stacked on top of each other to form walls. 2. Post and beam. A popular style using round vertical log posts and large horizontal logs. Metal fasteners and brackets hold them together, and fewer logs are used, saving money. 3. Timber frame. Also known as square cut or hybrid homes. They are similar to post and beam homes, but use square logs for a more contemporary look. Cabin construction costs can vary based on materials and labor. On average, it ranges from $100 to $300 per square foot. Costs may include hiring an architect for $100 to $250 an hour, a general contractor for $50 to $150 per hour, or 10 to 20% of total costs, concrete foundation installation, $5 to $10 per square foot, house framing, $11 to $30 per square foot, roof installation, $3 to $15 per square foot, siding installation, $3 to $13 per square foot, electrical work, $50 to $130 an hour, wiring installation, $4 to $9 per square foot, plumbing services, $45 to $150 per hour, and rough-in plumbing installation, $450 per square foot. Log home kits and prefab modular cabins often come with most of the inside stuff already done. But if you get just the logs or a basic shell, you'll need to add finishes later. These finishes can cost between $35 to $110 for each square foot of space. Let us tell you, log cabin houses might cost more to make and insure than regular houses. People think they're worth it because they're cozy, use less energy, and are really peaceful. Also, they stay valuable for a long time. And there you have it, the comprehensive guide to understanding the costs involved in bringing your log cabin dream to life. Thank you for joining me in this adventure of discovery and inspiration. If you're as excited about log cabin living as we are, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights and adventures. Until next time, keep dreaming, planning, and building. Your perfect log cabin retreat is within reach. See you in the great outdoors.